Isn't it time to stop dying? Isn't it time not to stop crying? Stop the fighting and the hate. We gotta make peace before it's too late. There's one sea, one sky, one earth. So you and I gotta learn to live together. With one heart, with one need, we all gotta learn to live together. Peace in peace, peace. All right, everyone died. Everyone loves, everyone cries. Round the world we're all alive. So why is there war? Why do we fight? There's one sea, one sky, one earth. So you and I gotta learn to live together. With one heart, with one needs, we all gotta learn to live together. Peace, make peace, make peace, peace. Alright, isn't it time to stop dying? Isn't it time not to stop crying? Stop the fighting and the hate. We gotta make peace before it's too late. There's one sea, one sky, one earth. So you and I gotta learn to live together. With one heart, with one need, we all gotta learn to live together. Peace in peace, in peace. All right, make peace, peace together. Peace. Hello, everyone. I thank you guys for joining me. As a special night. We are actually doing a special report regarding the solar eclipse. Now, a lot of you folks out there are just joining us right now. Thank you guys for joining me on the Facebook chat room as well as the YouTube chat room. I'm just going back and forth here in the same both rooms, like boom, 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 boom. What can I say? Basically, as we was having a few crashes on YouTube, and next thing you know, I crashed in Facebook, and I thought, what the heck's going on? So maybe it has something to do with the solar eclipse. I don't know. After Effects, I don't know, but it's kind of funny. It's actually, it was bouncing me, then it bounced in YouTube. So I think people are having I think there's well over amount of people. Actually, I got a message from Facebook saying, or YouTube or Facebook, one of the two, said there's too many people in the room that they had to shut it down or they had to restart. And I'm going like, no, that's bullcrap. And then Facebook says, oh, it's a slow connection, you're gonna have to start over again. No, 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 I ain't gonna do that. So yeah, this is what they like to do. They like to play the little games as usual. You know, the game. Here we go again, right? So, anyways, it's a special report, and I'm sure a lot of you folks out there were having. Actually, I've been going online everywhere. Everything from Telegram, um, TikTok, um, Facebook, Instagram, you name it. Everybody's actually responding, and they're taking videos and photographs of the solar eclipse all across the world internationally. And one thing I've noticed that most you may not realize, but I mean, not every country able to have the opportunity, or country have an opportunity to see the solar eclipse. Like where I live in Canada, I live in British Columbia. We never got to see the eclipse because it was cloudy and raining all the time. So we got to see nothing, not where I am. So a lot of people in Ontario, so parts of Ottawa did, Quebec, yes, maybe parts of Alberta, I don't know. But I will say there's quite a few people from different provinces of Canada. And then going from everywhere from Arkansas to through the further out ways. Um, and again, even Wendy in the chat room is from up in Australia, and she says didn't see anything there in Australia either. So, you know, there is a pattern that they did say that there's going to be the solar eclipse will be seen in an X into the center of it, like basically, and that funny thing, a lot of people might not realize, but that letter X, that photograph of the pictures, or they were sending us different pictures of the supposedly those areas that we're going to be seeing through as an eclipse. Funny how it is that they're telling you this is where you're only going to be able to see it. I have never had anybody ever send out any weather networks or meteorologists ever told the public, say 20, 30 years ago, oh, well, the only way you're going to see the eclipse is only in this country or in this line over here. I'm going like, what? So what they're doing is it's specifying locations where the eclipse is going to be showing up. It's almost like saying, here, you can see me, but you can't see me over there. It's almost like playing hide and seek with a solar eclipse, or play hide and seek with the sun and the moon. You know what I mean? Like it gets to so it's getting to be slightly ridiculous. But I'm wondering if maybe it's possible, maybe that there are certain groups of people that are controlling this eclipse. I wonder, are they really controlling the eclipse, or are they just basically telling you what you can or cannot see so we can control the weather? DARPA, control the weather, DARPA, and see, or HARPA, and see HARPA, and see who can see and who cannot see by playing with the weather conditions. Okay, because now whoever's in control of the weather, they're telling you what to see. And that's why they always say X marks the spot. Now, there is a center of the specific spot that they're pointing out where supposedly in that center where it's supposed to affect others as far as energy is concerned. I've read so many and watched videos of people saying, as of today, they woke up in the morning, they felt so lethargic, they felt very wiped out, they feel very tired, and they don't know why. Since this eclipse has been happening, they have been feeling strange, emotional, depressed, or some people feel giddy and they don't know why they feel giddy. me, or even people that would have major dreams. I got me. I was out in space. People actually were saying they had dreams of being in space, like flying in space, flying in the solar system. Some people are actually were meditating during the eclipse. They didn't go outdoors. They stayed indoors, meditating during the eclipse indoors. And they said they saw themselves with the eclipse, participating with the eclipse and the trend, how it's actually happening. People actually were outside. There's many photographs and videos of people being outside using the 3D glasses, trying to see the eclipse. Okay. Which is fine, but yet there's always going to be some people out there going to say, oh, you shouldn't be looking at that eclipse because you're going to get hurt real bad, or you're going to go blind, or some people say, well, if you see the eclipse, you're going to die. Give me a break. So, and then there's also people out there, they say, well, this is biblical. The Bible said this, that you're da 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 da, and you're going to get blah, 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 blah. And this is all to do with hell and damnation, and you're God striking down, and like, come on, guys, So, okay, it says, hi, Derek. It's got some reason that will only let me interact on the Earth page. Hey, Scott, come on down to Earth. Oh, so yeah, anyways, I'm just pointing this out, folks. Now, I will be opening lines because I like to have people call in to let me know if they did see the solar eclipse and what they felt it did for them. Later on, I've got a variety of different photographs and videos, different opinions that people have said. I've actually saved quite a few of them. And I wanted to share that with you guys later on. There's going to be a lot to share regarding some of the photographs and videos. I want to also give a big shout out to everybody that actually had photographed and video recorded some of their stories regarding the solar eclipse. I keep on saying it so fast. I speed my lips up quickly. Because basically I feel it's important that, there is a history. And I want to say this. It used to be, well over a few hundred years ago, a lot of Native Americans actually, if they did see an eclipse, they thought it was something very bad in a way. They would do a ceremony and they would keep on yelling and screaming, telling the eclipse to go away. And they would actually keep on dancing and do the ceremonies, and they would ask the creator not to hurt them. And at the time, this is when they're beginning their crops, and they're asking the creator not to harm them because of when they had the eclipse. And also happened to different other tribes as well, not just Native Americans, but also including different people from different parts of the world had the same wavelength of thinking, especially in Egypt, in Peru, and also happened in Peru, also in Persia. It wasn't called Iraq back then. Persia, and many other, even Ireland and Scotland, they made a big deal about it as well. Not the Brits as much, but mostly Scotland and Ireland. They made a big deal about the eclipse, but they didn't call it the eclipse. So they thought it was the great danger, like as in, God's shining down on them and the great darkness. That was what they believed. But it also took people that created fraudulency, who tried to make themselves, they were very powerful. And those who actually knew how to use the stars knew when the eclipse was coming, and to make themselves look big and powerful, they would actually convince a royal family or even royalty to believe that they were very powerful. So they would say, I'll put my hand in the sky, and the moon's going to go, or the moon's going to go over the sun. I can prove it. And then the moon went over the sun. Next thing you know, they have this, they're given every bit of power and whatever they want to do to basically control the people. They thought themselves as being powerful magicians or powerful sorcerers, you name it. That's what they did, including the Vikings. The same thing. There are a lot of historical stories regarding what the Vikings went through, and also in Japan, China, a lot of Asian countries. They also, everyone went through a phase. Then there was the Alexandria times. Anybody who practiced astrology, especially the Romans, knew all about this. And especially there's a young woman who actually knew when the eclipses were coming. And she studied the astrology. She studied the stars and through astrology. And she was the only female who was actually allowed to come on the council floors with the rest of the Romans. And she was able to say what she wanted to say because she was that good being, or power. I'm not going to say powerful, but she had the ability to tell them about the stars and when it's going to rain, when it's not going to rain, or when's the best time to, if you want to go to war with someone or some country, whatever have you. And she'll say, when's the best time? And she would actually tell you when this and this and this through astrology. So in the meantime, there are people out there even to this day, they, thank you, they call them oracles, whatever name you want to call them. But even to this day, there's even a lot of astrologers that are also using the solar eclipse as part of the star beliefs, as far as their astrological beliefs. So they're going to tell you what is in what and what is in what, and I'll explain that to you later on because we're going to be sharing some of that through this as well. And I one reason why I wanted to bring this up for all of you guys to see, because most people, what they have done, I mean, wherever you're living, you're not able to see everything everybody has shared across the world, because a lot of social networks don't always work with each other, right? We may not even know anybody from Australia. You may not know somebody from another country. So, and yet someone from another country, they're showing their videos or pictures of what they saw as far as the solar eclipse from their side. This way here, I wanted to share all of this, the international countries, and share all what they had seen through their eyes or through their cameras, and give you an idea what it looked like from their side. You have a better understanding how it felt. Now, many people were excited about it. Others were fearful. So again, how you would believe, whether it's under a biblical perspective or under a astrological perspective, or including, or any other, beliefs. Then you got your mainstream media who had to try to get you to believe that you're going to have 3 days of darkness and start to preparing to hide in the bunkers that they build and hide away, because they're saying there's going to be earthquakes, there's going to be hurricanes, there's going to be typhoons, there's going to be anything they want to put on top of it to scare you. And when I talk to Spirit, because of my work that I do, and I ask Spirit, how should we prepare? Is this really the solar eclipse that's going to happen right now? Should we be worried about it? And all I heard from Spirit saying to me, celebrate it, enjoy. It is the new change. It's the new transition. It's the new change. It's a new dimensional change. It's a new dimensional shift. We're transitioning from the third generation, the third dimension, into the fourth. Now we're sliding in from the third to the fourth to the fifth. And that's exactly what's happening. We are shifting, and we're slowly shifting in. We're not jumping over where we're going to scare ourselves. But there's going to be people out there who want you to panic because they're told to make you panic. They want to still see if they can control you. And they'll say, oh, well, maybe the reason why the solar eclipse is because you're going to have to start using your digital money and not use real cash. Hey, they're saying it now, right? So that's wrong. That's entirely stupid on their part. They're coming up with all really dumbass stuff. But again, I think they were doing this because they want to find out how many more people they can scare, or how many more people they can get them to panic, and how many more Karens are left out there. No disrespect to anybody named Karen, but you know what I mean? There's going to be people out there who still panic, and because they're believing, they have to panic. And no, God's not going to hate you. God's not here to strike on this earth. We got a lot of years to live. Many of us do. All of us do. But if you want to worry yourself sick that you cannot survive, then you got something else going on in your head, right? You can't see anyone's comments. Yeah, see, that's from Facebook. You may have to, what you may have to do, Catherine, is come back out again, go back in, go back out again, see what happens. Yeah. So that's, yeah, basically, like Wendy says, yeah, huge push for cashless here, but people are fighting back. Good. See what I mean? They're going to try even anything, even from the external part of it. The rest, like they want to make you think that we got to go back to all the negative things. And if we go back to the negative things, then you're taking their word for it, and then you don't want to get duped, right? So it's actually this solar eclipse actually, and I want to give a big shout out to my granddaughter. 26 years ago in March, my granddaughter was born during the eclipse, and it was very special to me because I knew when she was going to be born. Matter of a couple of days apart, but I knew when. And then her mother called her Eclipse because she was born during the eclipse. Not many girls are named Eclipse. And if they were, surprise, surprise, but my granddaughter is named Eclipse. So everybody used to panic and they used to say, oh, I'm so worried about what's going to happen with Eclipse. These, and I said, well, my granddaughter's name is Eclipse. I don't worry about her. I think she's doing fine. And she also got married this year. Congratulations, my granddaughter. She got married just after Christmas. So, it's her first marriage, first and only. And her wonderful husband's from Mexico. So, they both have the same wavelength of working with spirit. They love it, So, like I said, folks, we take things too literal. When we watch a lot of the mainstream media, I tell people, try not to get caught up in their crap, because all it does for yourself is get you all to panic. And it's not worth panicking, right? We're in both chat rooms. We're actually in the Facebook as well as YouTube chat room. I had to redo the chat room again in YouTube, and I know you guys are actually in there, but if you want to come and join the chat room and chat, more than welcome to, please. Also, you guys can talk back and forth amongst each other, and also, too, if you have any questions you want to ask. What we're going to do, like if anybody wants to call in, I got the open lines, 360-566-2875. I would like you guys to call in. Let me know how you felt ever since the solar eclipse actually has taken place. I mean, how you felt before it began, and then how you feel after it finished itself through. And like I said, I was unable to see it. Okay. Here in British Columbia in Canada, because it's got lots of rain, lots of clouds. Even last night, I was trying to look up in the sky to see if it was going to start. No, nothing at all. And then it rained and cloudy all day. So again, this actually is planned. This is planned. This is not specific. Folks, this is HARRP. Okay. This is actually planned to who's allowed to see the solar eclipse. They knew how to do it. This is basically whether it's them doing it or someone actually is in control. Okay, they're just showing you things. Wishbears told me I should wear a helmet. Yeah, no, the sky's not falling, Chicken Little. It is absolutely planned, and but again, and if you look at some of there's actually a photograph, folks. If you haven't seen it yet, look at NASA's photograph. Look at their logo, NASA's logo. You'll see the two lines crossing over. That's the exact design of the Earth, where the same design that they're showing you here yesterday, as of the 8th, or today, they're trying to show you that's exactly the same design where the eclipse was going to cross over. Now, why or how did NASA even know that? How did NASA even know that it was going to happen in that direction? These are the people who are the bad people who are trying to show you that they're thinking that they can actually be in control of it and to scare you. It is a scare tactic. It's nothing, as far as I'm concerned, whatever. And I mean, I've had a lot of people panic. They call me up, Derek, I don't know what to do. Should I worry? No. If I had dreams and spirit showed me anything negative that's going to happen, especially when I actually predicted the tsunami in Japan a few years back, um, if I didn't, and if I was able to see that, and the spirit wanted me to see that I knew then what to prepare for. But they also, spirit would have showed me if anything really badly was going to happen during the solar eclipse, I would have showed it to you. I would have told you a long time ago. But all they said to me was, enjoy the ride, enjoy the view, enjoy being outdoors, being indoors, enjoy what it's doing, because it's just a transition showing you that we're going to the next phase. It's not the phase of control the public, it's next phase of how we're going to move now to the next generation, as in our energy is shifting higher. You become a higher being, a stronger being. You're more enlightened, and you're actually going above here. You're not below here. Okay. So if you're in the third world, as we are, this not third world country, but we are in a third dimension. Okay. We've always been in the third dimension for thousands of years. We're going into the fourth, we're sliding into the fourth, which we're actually going into the fourth dimension now, and we're going into the fifth. I told you this before a few months back when I had the show, talked about going from the third to the fifth, but it's a transition. It's not like jump, okay? Because you would have got freaked out and you wouldn't be able to handle it. Especially a lot of people that have no idea what's going on. Okay, so yes, thank you very much, Catherine. All by design. Keep your vibrations high and high. It speeds up the process. Yeah, just look forward, like just envelop it in. I mean, it's like one of the elders that wrote to me even today, and she said that she felt so tired, like really wasted tired, and it had nothing to do with her health or her health. She was just saying, man, ever since this eclipse came, she says, I feel so sleepy. It's the energy coming from the transition of the solar energy, folks. It's solar. Okay, solar energy. Okay, let me explain this to you. So solar energy, let's have a look here real quick. If you use the word okay, and its meaning, okay, solar energy is solar powered, is energy from the sun that is converted into thermal or electrical energy. We are made of energy. Okay. Solar energy is the cleanest and the most abundant renewable energy source available. See, cleanest and the most abundant renewable energy available. And the U.S. has some of the richest solar resources in the world. Gee, that would be whoever actually is controlling it, right? So, so basically, we have been using solar energy from the sun for a long, long time. People know how to do it. Why are we using solar panels on their houses? Why are we using solar panels camping? Because it's part of taking natural sunlight to create electricity. So we're creating electrical currents, right? And so so they're saying, so Earth is saying, was tired most of the day too after the eclipse passed. Yes, it knocks the living heck out of you. If you're feeling lethargic, like even Catherine said, stay above your energy, keep your energy high. Drink lots of water. this is going to help a lot, folks. If you're not drinking enough water, drink lots of water. Not alcohol. Alcohol. If you drink alcohol while you're involved, while you're looking at the solar energy or solar eclipse, it actually it makes you feel very lethargic. And I'm not talking about because the alcohol knocks the high energy down. Okay, you should never be drinking when you're actually watching the solar eclipse, because it doesn't work that way. People say, "Hey, let's celebrate." No, it doesn't work that way. Plenty of water around you. It's important. Okay. Eat small meals often. Yes. And that means if you have to go hunting for a mouse, small meals, that's called takeout food. Okay. So Diane Brighton says, hello, Derek and everyone. Peace. Solar power. Yes, Diane. So like I said before, we have all this available. Now, I want to do is I want to bring in, let's see here. Let's have, if you guys want to phone in, and more welcome to talk about what you felt through, what you went through today, what the energy felt like to you. And if you did, and were able to see the solar eclipse, please let me know and phone in. I'll give you guys the number, the 360-566-2875. Okay. Okay. So it's 36. You got it. Please call in, open lines. And I'll do the same thing in here. 2 chat rooms. And if you guys do phone in all at once, that's fine. I'll just merge you all in. So where this is not a private call, this is open to everybody to be part of it. I'd love to hear from you guys, and please call in. And let me know what your thoughts are, what you went through, because we want to let the world know what it felt like. Then I'm going to be bringing up, do some reviews, and I'll show you what others have gone through. Let's see here, bring that one up. And let's go talk about the some totality path areas were affected by the inclement weather. Let's do this until somebody phones in. Okay, so I'm going to bring this up here, and I'll move it onto the screen as well. Just give me a moment. Oh, here we go. You got it. Okay, here we go. Let's actually watch. This is about 4 minutes and 50 seconds, but let me see what you guys think about that. Okay, if you haven't seen it, this is all to do under TikTok.
That we are now in a total eclipse. You can see the corona around the sun, which is one of those rare moments where we here on Earth, with the naked eye, can actually see that outer atmosphere of the sun, which we all know is a lot warmer than the sun itself. And we're, of course, waiting for, as it now then comes out of totality in about 56 seconds or so, we'll see that diamond ring again. And we've seen it play over and over again. The diamond ring and Bailey's beads, obviously named after Francis Bailey, the great astronomer who first coined the sunlight peeking its way through the valleys and the craters of the moon. And that's what creates those beads, that beaded effect. And here it comes. We've got 25 seconds left here in Charleston. And you can see how, blessed the folks of Charleston are and we feel, because look at the cloud cover on the right screen. You can see how many clouds are in the sky. We did not know whether or not this would work for us or not. But we are seeing it. It's quite visible to the naked eye.
You might see a golden ring.
We're watching this with so many scientists who joined us today, former astronauts. I want to bring in Dr. Hakeem Oluseyi. And as you take in this image with us, Hakeem, what do you make of the fact that we have all been able to witness now the diamond ring we're seeing, the flash of light, as now darkness and nighttime turns back into daylight here in Charleston? What an extraordinary thing to witness.
This is so totally creepy. My goodness. There's like sunset, sunrise, every direction. People are going nuts. Our excitement, the sun is back. Oh.
Oh, there it is. Oh, look at it. That's crazy. Looks like a donut in the sky. What are your That is amazing. That has to be the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my whole life. What's that? I feel like my sunset shot at the beach better. I agree. It was more amazing to me. Yeah, she took some really nice photos. Send those to me. You have my number in your phone already, right? Oh, look at it. That's crazy. Looks like a donut in the sky. What are your That is amazing. That has to be the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my whole life. What's that? I feel like my sunset shot at the beach better. I agree. It was more amazing to me. Yeah, she took some really nice photos. Send those to me.
So now you know. So this actually is going to be interesting. That's one of them that was based out of in the States. Okay. And let's see here. Let's go with the next one. Now, this one here, I find interesting. Let's see, make this. Hopefully, I'll make it bigger. I can't make it bigger. No, won't let me get in there. So, Instagram is. Oh, by the way, what they had done, folks. Congress in the States has passed a bill that what they're trying to do right now, or have done, they said they passed a bill that TikTok will be taken down or blocked. And I'm going like, why? Well, it's not the Republicans that ordered it to have it taken down, because there's so many people hiccuping at the same time. So many people are actually talking about the Democrats negatively on TikTok, that the Democrats now demanded that the TikTok be taken down. Go figure, right? Now, let's see here. Catherine says, this eclipse is the start of the opening of the second seal, and the sun around the moon represents Apollo's crown, also known as the sun god. Apollo was the beginning of the pharmaceutical, and his wife's name was Coronavirus. Oops. Continue. So that's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Cool thing, eh? Let's go with another one here. Let's bring this in. I want to show you. Stop it. See, I'm talking right now, and they're messing with my computer, or messing with blocking things. Okay. I'm going to show you guys some fun here. I'm going to pull this up. This is how people like to get people to panic. So when I saw this, I thought, okay, really? You really think that they're going to go crazy and scream and run around and go crazy after the solar, and then they're going to throw around toilet paper? Oh, look, the birds are going nuts. Oh, look, catastrophe. Oh, my goodness, look at this. At world's end. Oh, my goodness. Jeez. So I thought I'd share that with you. Okay. Next one coming up. And that's this one here. Bring that one in again. This is a new one. This is a photograph. I believe this is part of, someone said it was Italy. I think it's either part of Italy, I think, or Spain. I'm not sure. No, I could be wrong. So, yeah. Oh, my God, not the Charmin. Yeah. So this is what they do. They try to get people all messed up. But this is kind of cool. You can see the ring right there. And you can see the people walking across along the beach, but they're focusing on that. That is kind of cool, eh? So let's see. There's more coming in here. I'll move that over. This one is nice. I like the 4 types that how different levels of the solar eclipse, how it began. You can see here. There's your ring. This is where they were. Here's this funny, you know, guys, I need to tell you this. About a week ago, I put a picture of 3 moons on this from the sky. I had a photograph of 3 moons together in the sky. And I photographed, and I took the photographs and I shared them on my Facebook page. I'm sure some of you may have seen it. And having to look at this, I mean, look at right here, down in this area right here, similar, same thing. Look at that. Wow. Like there's a reflection for some reason. Now that makes a whole lot of sense. So I think what's happening, maybe possibly the moonlight in the clouds has made it become a reflection, that it's like a mirror, and it just bounce, make it, and it looks like there's actually 7 moons. Interesting, something to think about, right? So, but you can see how it began. All this become the golden ring. I just thought it was great. Then the next one. Now, I was taken from a beach. And this one here, someone said this one's from California. So this is the California beach. So people out there swimming, watching it looks like these people are having, they don't look so scared, do they? They're more want to be in the water. They're enjoying themselves, actually, almost like having a midnight swim. You know, like, really? So, yeah. Make you think about it. Okay. Next one. Now, this is a foggy sky. So this is what this is part of Canada. People had difficulty trying to see through it. They were trying so hard to see if it was there. So this is from a regular camera, but I guess it must be really cloudy sky. that's the same one. I guess I must have doubles. Hang on. This one here is really cool. And these are all photographs, folks. They're not drawings. They're not AI. This is the real thing. These are pictures that people have taken from their own location where they live, and then they take the pictures and they just put them on their page. It's kind of cool. And you can see these beautiful flowers there. These ones down here. So this one here is quite interesting. Now this one here shows itself being yellowish, so to speak. And I think, to me, it looks like there's a heart. See in the center there? It looks almost like a heart. Like the sun and the moon sending you love back again. Or even like a nucleus, you know how like an atom and nucleus, that sort of thing. I really don't feel there's ever actually any danger whatsoever in any of this at all. Then I love this one here that someone made. Or was he standing in front of the camera? I wonder. Let's have a look. This is really a real eclipse. Okay. Worry about that one. Okay. I got sent that one.
I did not see it coming, but I asked her.
Hang on. I'll wait for that one. Wait for that one at the bottom. Oh, that won't open up. Won't open up. So I move that one out of the way. That's me. Okay, move that aside. Look at that one. Wow. Some people are able to use some of these cameras that you can do clips, and their cameras are just phenomenal. So this is a really cool picture. You can use that even as a background in some of your photographs or stuff, you know, or anything, even a greeting card. Just give someone as a gift. It's beautiful. I'll tell you one thing, you're not going to be able to see anything quite like these at all for the next, I'm not sure, 20, 30 years for the next one. So that's going to be interesting. And again, this one here, this is taken over the ocean. And I think this is the same similar one that the guys were already in the water, and that's just a little more further away or closer. Yeah. And then let's see here. This one I found is very, very interesting because they're giving you a detailed look what it can look like or has looked like. Solar eclipse, they gave you that idea, you know. Solar eclipse, April 8th, 2024. This is the transition. Somebody just put this all around it. But look at that. This is real. I mean, it's not fake. It's all real. It's showing you the change in the shape. And in one way, if you look at it, this part here, if you look at it, looks like as if that's an eyeball, and that's the end. Like it's actually giving you God seeing the light, showing that it's like I'm watching you. You know, something to think about. And Oh, what did he say? Look, a psyop distraction. Ooh. You never know. Then they're showing you something authentic here, which I think is important, that people can take what's real and what is not, but they're showing you fake, real, fake, real. Okay. So this was actually done in 2017, and they were trying to get people to believe that this is what we're going to be tormented by. And this is, if you look at it now, there's a dome above it, real, you know what I mean? And our real sun is made out of plasma. So this 2000. I wanted to share that with you guys because get you to think that we're not going this direction of saying, oh my God, the sun is burning, we're going to get fried. No, there's gravity is making sure the sun doesn't get close to the earth. It will never fall on us. So this one here, again, some people like to go on their own, take pictures. So you can either make that as a nice looking photograph or AI, whichever you think. I thought some of these are nice, quite nice, just simple ones. This one here is quite interesting when I seen this one here. But you look at the tower, okay? Now, I've seen the video of it. I just took a picture, just a picture. But the whole tower up here was lit up, like as in that, when that eclipse was happening, when the eclipse was happening right here, all of this down here was flashing. And the same with here, the lights were flashing. And that's called a cathedral. This is called a cathedral, folks. This is an energy center. This is not a regular common tower. It makes electricity. This is where you call free energy. This is called a cathedral. It's not just a common peak for a building. So this was your free energy power. If you took that flag off, the energy, there's actually transmitters, and that would light this up, and you would have free energy, and your vehicles can drive without using any transformers, like regarding large batteries. You don't need those large batteries. All you would have is a small little tiny box transformer in your car. And the use of this is all organic. Okay, all organic, and that will get you everywhere. There's cathedrals everywhere. If you look at this upside down, looks like a hypodermic needle, or sometimes if you take the peak off right here, it looks like a spark plug. This is part of the Tartarian time period. Okay, this is Tartary. This is all, these buildings were not just built like 50, 60 years ago. These buildings were built over 500 years ago. They just didn't, people don't realize that because you weren't supposed to know the truth. And again, there's some really nice ones here. These are different ones from all over the world. People are sending some of them to me, and they said, Derek, what do you think of this one? This is cool. But everyone has a photograph or a video of every individual ones. Look really, really cool.
I did not see it coming, but I.
Oh, here we go again. Gotta move that. Did not see it coming. She's in the way. Okay. This is what they're trying to show you. This is what a true lunar eclipse is. Lunar eclipse, solar eclipse, apocalypse, alpacalypse. You guys get it now? Because a lot of people didn't even know what lunar and solar was. Okay, the solar represents the sun. The lunar is the moon, right over here. Okay, solar, lunar, moon, sun. Apocalypse means the sun's between Earth and the moon. And this is alpacalypse. I love that one. Okay, now I wanted to share this with you guys and this one here as well because we're going into the 4/4. Okay, the planets align in the sky. A magical supercharged energy portal. That's what this whole thing's all about, folks. Whenever you see these numbers, set clear intentions, align thoughts, feelings, and actions with your desired outcome. Then be patient and trust that your dreams will rapidly become a reality. Vivid dreams, heightened emotions, synchronicities, fated meetings, deja vus, resurfacing memories, unexpected news, dedication, and hard work finally paying off. Material and financial abundance and rewards. Seeing the numbers 444, 444, 4444 on clocks, receipts, license plates, etc., is a sign that your thoughts are creating your reality. So make a wish, work hard towards it, and believe it is coming true. Whenever I see 444, I've always been told, and I've actually dealt with this for a lot of years. And 444, always, the angels are saying to you that they're actually helping you make sure you understand that they're there for you always and not to worry. Okay. All this relates to what you see up here. Okay. Venus, Neptune, and Saturn and Mars are all in alignment right now. So I had that already before. This is another one here. I love this one here. You got to see this one for sure. This is a one-of-a-kind photograph. I couldn't believe it. Look at this, guys. What do you see? That's an eclipse happening at the same time right now, and a plane was actually flying across the sky, and someone took the photo. That is so cool. I thought the planes were grounded during the solar eclipse because someone said, "Oh, the planes will be grounded during the solar eclipse." Guess what? It never got grounded. Somebody flew the plane. But I wonder who's in that plane. I wonder who's in that plane to make sure you see. And one way, it's like, you know how you used to always see a heart like here and an arrow shot through? And that tells you love, right? That you're being watched over and everything's fine, not to worry. And that's what I see. So I thought you loved that. See that one? And let's see. Let's bring up anything else. Need to share. I think I have everybody here. Oh yeah. Okay, let's get down here. Interesting. This is my True North Strong and Free page. It says here, it says the eclipse sun passes behind the Statue of Liberty in New York City during the Great American Eclipse in New York City Monday afternoon. And that's what it looks like. Whoops. I had to make it bigger. It didn't go bigger. You can see that, right? Right behind. And just the other night, they had lightning storm, and the the Statue of Liberty, this part right here, the lightning hit it, and it went crack, 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 crack across the sky. It hit the Liberty Tower, and also there are people on the ground down below, and I guess the hit from the lightning hit the ground, I guess went through the statue down the ground and knocked a few people off their feet. It's quite interesting how that one turned out. Yeah. Says someone wrote in the page, says maybe it's just me, but where does the moon go, or where does it come from? All I see is a dark circle moving in front of the sun, then magically it disappears. Maybe I need the special glasses to see where the moon goes. Help me, icons. And I'll show you guys this one here. Hang on. So right here. Interesting, eh? Wow. Okay, let's go over real quick here. There it is. That's the one that I saw here with the plane flying by.
People are talking about the eclipse, but they're not talking about this. The sun and the moon are not aligned on April 8th. They are in Pisces. Right now, if you go to your Skyview app and you push forward to April 8th, plug it in, it will show you that the sun and the moon are in Pisces. They are not aligned. They are sitting beside each other, but they are not aligned. How is that possible? Because the sun and the moon have been out of place since back in September 2023. I've been doing these videos telling you that the sun is not where it should be. People are telling me it's the calendar. The calendar's off. Don't worry about it. It's where the sun is in the sky that's different. It's not where it should be. This eclipse is showing you that I am telling you the truth. Because if we see an eclipse on April 8th, how is that possible? If the sun and the moon are in Pisces, it can't be an Aries eclipse, right? If the sun is in Pisces, and if the sun and the moon are not aligned, they have to be aligned in order for you to see an eclipse, correct? So I don't have to be a fucking astrophysicist to understand this, and neither do you. I'm trying to get this out to as many people as I can. Please share this because, I mean, 90% of the people that are this is just a no-brainer. These heavenly bodies are changing. They are not where they should be. And they damn sure will not show you an eclipse in the sky if they are not aligned.
Well, that's a good one, isn't it? Okay, here we go here. And she's showing this again, so I'll go back into here because she was pretty good with this.
I'm telling you right now, something is not right about this eclipse. This is the path that it will take, and it will cross over with the eclipse that we had in 2017, making an X on the country. Now, right there in the crosshairs, right there is a town called Maconda, Illinois. Let's talk about it. So this is a better look at the direct path of totality that the solar eclipse will take. Right there by Carbondale, where the X meets, is Maconda. Just as a fun fact for Shiggles, this has never happened in the United States. We have never had two solar eclipse paths cross over on one town. So this is a pretty big fucking deal. Maconda really isn't that big of a deal. It has a population of like 500 people, and it's known as a hippie town in Illinois. Now, what I did find interesting is that there is a giant city-state park inside of Maconda. Are we waking up giants? Now, Maconda translated to South African, it means little ones. Are we the little ones and they're the big ones coming when the eclipse happens? Now, maybe I'm wilding out. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe there's nothing to this. But if I am just wilding out and there is nothing to this, why have they already predicted a historical chance of cloud coverage on the day of the solar eclipse? Since when did they predict cloud coverage 2 months in advance? This shit is suspicious. The fact that this hasn't ever happened before is suspicious. The fact that there is a giant city-state park right outside Sewanee National Forest, which is known for Bigfoot sightings, is suspicious. So are the clouds a attempt to hide the eclipse from us so that we don't see what happens in the shadows? Because let me remind you, this total solar eclipse will last for 4 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm telling you right now.
Okay, let's look up the name Maconda. To me, it sounds like it's, even though I say its meaning of means the mango tree. Actually, the meaning of it means the mango tree. It also means gender, girl, origin, Indian. Now, Maconda sounds like Wakanda, like from the movie Wakanda. Let's see here. And also says a submission from South Africa says the name Maconda means little ones and is of Chewa, Chewa, Chewa origin. Okay. So Maconda also is a Sanskrit word for the mango. Sanskrit. Okay, here we go. Now we're getting into Egyptian stuff. Yes, it is. So in the early 20th century, they used the slogan, "The Star of Egypt." Maconda is part of the carbon date. Okay, so we're getting deeper in this. Maaskam Samawa, noble-hearted, generous lady. So let's go here. Means Star of Egypt. That's what this is. Maconda means Star of Egypt. See, the people themselves are saying means little ones. That's not true. That South African says the name Maconda means little ones. Yes, that means to me it sounds like African American people most likely possibly live there, and they're no longer there. Okay, so that means to me, if you look up the word Maconda or look up the word, let's see here, the Egyptian word for it. All Maconda's in the Bible. The Star of Egypt. Does the eclipse herald signs in the heavens? Oh, now we're getting close. They're talking about the eclipse. No, they're talking about the rapture. It has nothing to do with that. So people are trying to bring the rapture into this one. They're trying to say, oh, it's a rapture time of people that they're all going to die. No, that's not the one. I'm not going to take that. People get too serious. They get crazy in the head regarding this. Goes way too far. Yeah. Oh, by the way, that was a new movie coming out. I was going to watch it. Monster Mash. Anyways. Okay. Another solar eclipse is here, folks. And I'll show you. Remember I said before, people like to use these stupid background noises. I'm trying to get you all scared and freaked out. Let's do that again. Now, this is the tower I was telling you about. Okay, at the very top, this peak is lighting up. The CN Tower in Toronto. So that's what it tells you. So I'll get rid of that one. Oops. Now what I do. There we go. XO. There we go. What's happening is that any direction that goes to a different page and takes me down to another page. So don't get too worried about that, folks. It's I was watching some movies the other night. It takes you to another page where there's movies. Okay, this is the Sony family, and they're talking about the solar eclipse. So let's see what we can do here. Let's bring this one up. Whoa. Stop for a second, guys. Let's bring the volume back up again. Okay. I hate listening to that ridiculous background, and they want to make you get you all freaked out. They do that a lot. They become dumbasses. Okay, here's what it is. We'll do it one more time. There's a lot of people that were amazed by having to see all this. I'm going to do this. There we go. And the next one, bring down. And I'll bring this one forward. Here we go. And I'll do this up again. Da-da-da-da. Okay, here we go.
Oh, timer's up. It's about to.
Yeah, it's brightening. It's brightening on the one side. There it goes. Woo!
Thank you, Tracy Philpott, sharing that. That's fantastic. That was a really nice one to look at. This young lady right here is the one that's responsible to record all that one. Tracy Philpott. Then we have
the solar eclipse on April 8, 2024 will be a significant astronomical event that will affect all zodiac signs, albeit differently according to astrology. Solar eclipses often represent new beginnings and major changes in our lives. Here is a brief description of how it is expected to affect each sign. Aries, this eclipse will occur in your sign, which means you could feel an extra push to start something new in your life. It is a good time to take the initiative and pursue your goals with determination. Taurus, this eclipse could bring changes in your inner life, encouraging you to reflect on your desires and emotional needs. It could be a good time to work on your self-esteem and to heal emotional wounds from the past. Gemini, this eclipse could influence your social life and friendships. You could feel the need to make changes in your social circle or to reevaluate your long-term goals and aspirations. Cancer, this eclipse could bring changes in your career or professional life. You could feel the need to take on new challenges or to reevaluate your long-term career goals. Comment your sign and follow me for part 2.
Cancer is a month of July, folks. So if anybody actually celebrating the month of July, that's what that one is. This one here is above Montreal.
Whoa. Whoa. Holy shit. Holy shit.
Okay, I think we're done pretty good so far. Let's see here. I'm looking to find another country here. This actually was in Mexico. Yeah, Mexico. This one here. Let's have a look at this one here.
360-degree sunrise look. Everyone's right. There we go. Talking about this is. I have legit goosebumps. Totality. Oh, where is it? Incredible! Alright, there we go. Wow. Wow. Alright, we have the 360-degree sunrise look that everyone's been talking about. Totality. Wow. Oh, man. Absolutely. Oh, where is it? Incredible. Valerie, we have the 360-degree sunrise look that everyone's been talking about. You can see planets. Wow. Look how light it's getting on the horizon now. Absolutely. 3, 2, 1. Incredible. Glasses on. Hey, there's Jupiter and Venus. Let's see, we have Venus off to the right. 360 planets. Incredible. Look how light it's getting on the horizon now. Oh, man. Three, two, one. Absolutely incredible. Glasses on. Hey, that's Jupiter and Venus. Let's see, we have Venus off to the right. Incredible. You can see planets. Look how light it's getting on the horizon now. The sun's gonna be there. Wow. And just like that. 3, 2, 1. Glasses on. Amazing. Wow. Incredible. Wow. Wow. It's just like that.
So that's your eclipse, folks. This is what we were dealing with. I was putting a whole bunch of them inside, dropping them in my this is my Telegram page, and oh yeah, Nibiru. Yeah, why not? Let's play this one. See what you guys think of it. This is what they're calling precautions. Whoops. Let me start again here. It's so low I can barely hear them. I can barely hear her talking, so I guess whoever got fed up with it, they just turned it off. I know about the Anunnaki, but that's their fear. That's the media for you. All they wanted to do is to get you to be afraid. I wanted to share that with you guys to show you that even the news media was willing to even willing to scare you. You know, like, give me a break. So I hope you guys had a great time with this one. Now, what I want to do is I want to take open lines. So let's discuss the solar eclipse and see what you guys think about it. Area code 81186.
Derek, what's up?
Not too bad. How are you doing, my friend?
Oh, it's pretty nice here on the East Coast. It's you know, we're still here.
Yeah.
The rapture didn't come.
No, rapture. We didn't burn or shrink or disappear. We're still here.
Even though my friend had a very sadistic yet funny idea.
Oh, okay.
He wanted to buy 200 blow up dolls, and he wanted me to help him inflate them with helium and let him go.
Oh, that would be funny because they would look like as if they're going into the sky, and people are blaming, like, "Oh my God, look at this guy! Oh my God!"
Now, I told him. Now, I said that is hilarious.
Yeah.
Because I have a very sick sense of humor, but I said, just in the slightest little 100,000th of a percent that something's about to happen, we may want to hold on
that. That is so funny.
And yeah, that was just it. I gave him, for originality, I gave him a 10, man. That would have been that would have been priceless, and we either would have been put in the Guinness Book of World Records for the greatest practical joke, or we'd be in jail for 10 years. One or the other.
I don't think you go to jail, but I think that'd be funny as heck. Just to inflate a whole bunch of helium and put them all in there just for the heck, just to get their attention. I mean, I know some people get really mad. Oh, that's not environmentally friendly, but no, I mean, you gotta have some humor sometimes just to wake people up. And then, you know, maybe a few Jehovah's Witnesses are going to see, here comes 144,000. They're coming down now.
Yeah, you know, we were wondering how many people we get to run out of their homes saying, I better get right with the church quick.
Yeah. I wonder how many. But you know what? Those inflated ones that probably they're not weighed down properly. They'll probably float up on their stomach. You know how you blow them up and they look as if they're laying down flat, not upright, but you would have to put some counterweights in the feet. Yeah,
we'd have to do something.
Or put a counterweight in their heads as if they're being pulled upwards by their legs.
No.
No, I'm not going. No.
Make the arms flap, you know.
No. Not now. I got too much to do. I'm watching the football game.
Yeah, I know. No, it was, you know, it was interesting here because we were about 93-95% totality. We weren't in the path of totality.
Yeah.
And it got dark. I mean, it looked like sunset here, and everything got really dead quiet.
Really?
That's one of the things everything got dead. The animals, the birds, I noticed the birds were in the trees.
Yeah.
And they just didn't want to move.
Really?
Like they weren't doing anything. They weren't chirping. They were frozen there.
Yeah. Well, nature knows that.
Yeah. Yeah. Nature knew something was wrong.
Well, I watched a video. I just watched a video today, earlier today, or actually that video was actually out last night. All the sharks were gathering in one direction. All the sharks, I'm not sure if you guys ever seen that video, but they said when the lunar eclipse was going to happen, all the sharks started coming, like the great whites. Every freaking shark was heading into one direction. They weren't veering off one way or the other, straight up heading towards one direction where the sun and the lunar eclipse was supposed to happen, or solar eclipse supposed to happen. They're all heading that direction. Yeah. Somebody actually was in the helicopter and they were video recording all the sharks heading that direction, not just 5 or 6. I mean, hundreds of them, sharks.
But but I did message you over Facebook because I because I said there's something weird going on.
Yeah.
Both me and my sister were affected pretty good. My mother had a headache as well. Not as bad as us. It was I was just sitting there and I was watching it, and I got a few pictures of it before the clouds started to filter in a little bit.
Uh-huh.
And all of a sudden, it was weird. All of a sudden, my sister goes in the house because she said she's not feeling good. She has health problems anyways, but so she just says, I gotta go in. I gotta get to bed. And I'm sitting there outside, and I start to get this. The only way that I could describe it is like a fight or flight response, where my whole body started to like tense up, and it wasn't. It was and that's the only way I can put it. Is it was like at first it was like it wasn't a fear response, but it felt like it. It felt like my anxiety was just ramping up and ramping up.
Yeah.
And then as I was sitting there for a minute, going, okay, this is a little weird. Maybe it's something to do with the eclipse. Maybe somehow a human fighter. Then I started to get a ringing in my ears.
Uh-huh.
To the point where it became uncomfortable. Like there was pressure in my ears, and they were ringing so bad that it was literally becoming uncomfortable. I literally thought for a second I was going to faint. And so I was sitting there outside on our back step.
Yeah.
Just trying to get my bearings right. And when we got to the maximum that we got to, which was about 95%.
Just hang on, my friend. I'm gonna actually add in somebody else to you. Hang on just a minute.
Okay.
Try and merge. Merge. Oh, I didn't merge. Oops, I screwed up. Hang on. Try that again. Oh, I have to do it again. See if they merge. I'm trying to get them to merge. Keep going, my friend. Talk.
I forgot where I left off. Oh, it was just, once we got to where our totality happened, where we had the most over it, and it was really dark, really darker, dead calm. It went away.
Yeah.
Like everything started to ease off, and it's just a weird feeling. It was I don't know how to explain it. Because I sound nuts when I say it.
Well, we already know you're nuts, so just say it.
I mean, heck, I do a radio show about stuff.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
it was, it was like I just it was like I just ran through a wall.
Yeah.
And I just I broke through it, and I was like, okay, I'm good. Then as the eclipse started to wane here, and we were starting to get brighter, you could see it start getting brighter. All of a sudden, the symptoms came back. Like, not to the extent they first did, but they were still there. The ringing in my ears was still there. the fatigue was there. I had kind of a queasy stomach.
Yeah.
My arms were like really stiff, like it was an anxious feeling. And I don't know, that's why that's why I messaged you to say, was there some kind of shift over that just happened? Because, and I literally told you I wasn't feeling right. I felt like I got the crap kicked out of me.
Yeah, well, a lot of people were feeling that way even this morning. I mean, I was reading some of their comments. A lot of people were responding on all the social networks, from, like I said, from Facebook to Strip down to whatever page, and everyone's saying, "Oh, I felt this strange feeling happen to me," and a lot of them feel lethargic. Some of them will feel like they felt like as if they got knocked over, as if they never had sleep at all. And some people said they felt they couldn't even sleep. They felt they were like they couldn't sleep at all. They were like, just something was actually telling them to stay up. Or some people be into a sleep and they had a hard time getting out of bed. Like they just had to sleep. They had to keep deep sleeping and they couldn't come out of it. Others were having nightmares. Like, I mean, they were saying, "Oh, I had a nightmare. I was actually, or a dream that I was flying in the stars, like I was flying in the sky." And these people are saying, "I never went through this. I've never done it before in my life. Why all of a sudden I feel like I'm in space?" Like everyone is going through a different variety of awakenings. Like they're all going through their emotions. They're going through some shifting and changes, and that's how it starts. Because this solar eclipse actually will affect you, because we are made of 90% electricity ourselves. We are static people, but we also are grounded. And when the earth goes through a shift, or even the sun and the moon goes through a shift, it's a vibration. Like, it's not gravity, it's vibration. And so we're affected by it. And then you have your solar flares. Okay. When they talk about solar flare, is the vibration of what is shooting back the energy. And people say, well, you don't look at it because you go blind. Well, it's not the idea of the blindness by looking at the transition. It's actually, the light is so bright, it's like an arc of a welder. You know how when you're welding a chunk of metal with a welder and they say, don't look at the light, wear a helmet. Okay. Yep. That's exactly how bright it is. It's so bright. It's a white light. It's not a sunlight. So that's why people say, one person said that she supposedly said she went blind by looking at the eclipse last time. And she says now she can't see straight ahead, but she can see in a peripheral view on the side, but she can't see straight ahead. She says she thinks she burned part of her iris. And so it depends on everyone, whether you did or whether you didn't. Maybe she was near a welder and that could have happened to her then, but she's going to blame a solar eclipse instead of, on the job with somebody else when she was somewhere else. So we don't know. And that was never proven, but people are always going to come up with something. And then the mainstream media, what they'll do is they'll say, oh, prepare for the end of the world. Really? Or prepare, we're going to have an alien invasion now that they had the eclipse. Really? We are the aliens. We are the ones that are invading. So,
well, I mean, I haven't seen a member of the Anunnaki yet, so I figure they're not.
No, especially I played the last film just for chuckles, because this lady, I mean, she couldn't even, whoever recorded it had the volume down so low you couldn't even hear anything, barely hear anything. But I watched part of the video from another that very similar station. All it really was is that they're told what to say. They have no idea what they're supposed to say. They're told what to say, and to prepare people, like, it's the end of the world. It's rapture. Rapture is here. God said this, and God. It's not. You can quote from the Bible all you want. It is not. This has been changed. It got changed, folks. Not everything is cryptic to say, to tell you the exact day. It's not anymore. It's got changed. There is a timeline. If you fix things in this world, which people have been doing, you have been fixing it, so the timeline changes. But if you don't do anything about it and you continue to go into war with other worlds, other countries, then you're going to not change the timeline. Then you're going to have shit happening on you, and it'll be in the Bible, and they'll quote from it. So we have
There,
continuously, we've been warned for generations.
I was the other video you showed there about the crossing of the paths.
Yeah.
The total eclipses. I was kind of curious of that because I believe she said, if I remember, that there's never been two total eclipses that have passed on the same spot.
No, never.
Something like
that's the first time. Yeah.
Well, it's not the first time.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is that they're trying to point out, what she's trying to point out is the village. Okay.
Oh,
that particular small little town, like Wakanda.
Right.
Right. But there's something that has a meaning to it, because that town itself actually is named after an Egyptian city. So what has that got to do with them? Because that particular area had a lot of UFO sightings and a lot of Sasquatch sightings. So it's a hot base. It's a hot area. Dense forest.
I also do know it's on down here, the New Madrid fault line.
Yeah. So if you ever decide to do research on that particular town, and do the research not under as an African name, but under an Egyptian, and go further back and look for the meaning of it, you're going to see more. I mean, I just discovered it with you here just now. So I'm going to be looking it up myself and find out, why was this town so prevalent, so important, and why did they actually use that as the main feature? There's got to be something there that had been involved in it as far as a historical incident. Maybe something happened there, and that's why they're trying to show you something out of it. That could be the main landing where all the UFOs are going to go. Maybe there's a secret underground somewhere there where all the UFOs come in and go out. We don't know, but it's based under, again, there's something there that they're trying to show you. We just have to look for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to kind of look up U.S. towns down here and what their histories are. Could be Native American too. There is a pretty heavy Native American history, I think, right in that area.
Yeah, there's a tribe that's part of that area as well. I mean, I think it's like they're mixing it up as being African, Native American, and Egyptian. So you got three cultures, three different individuals that are all in the same location. Now, to me, that could possibly be a wormhole. That could possibly be a place where you go through to another portal. That could be a portal. We don't know. Anything's possible. Yeah.
Well, the other thing you mentioned that about being Egyptian, maybe I was thinking about this. I was thinking about this too as I was looking down. I'm going, oh yeah, I forgot I had that on. I have a necklace, like a leather lanyard that I created. It's got a cross on it because I am Christian. It has a wing on it. And they call it an angel's wing, but it's a wing. And then I took your advice a while ago, where you said you probably want to get a piece of lapis lazuli.
Yep.
And I have a lapis lazuli crystal around my neck, and I started to wonder, whatever I felt, was it amplified?
Yes.
By that?
Lapis it's a psychic stone. It's an intuitive stone. And a lot of the Egyptian priests had plenty of those stones done. They would put them into a chest plate, like I keep on hitting the microphone. There is it's a big complete shield that they fit on their body, the front of their body, and they'll put a whole bunch of lapis and certain other types of stones on their body. And for them, it's all for protection, plus also to increase their psychic skills, their intuitive skills, and and they call them magics. And because they saw themselves, they can see the netherworlds, the different dimensions, and so that's why they believed in using that. But it wasn't just the Egyptians alone; it was the extraterrestrials that lived in Egypt that were also the leaders of Egypt, that looked like they're half human, half us, or half them. So, when they talk about Horus, or any other, even other types of Egyptian people that took place that were part of that time period, their time periods. Some of those Egyptian mummies that were buried in the crypts were not just human; they're half alien, half human. So or they look like they're alien, or they look like human, but they're mostly alien. Like, there's some more things now beginning to be discovered today but see, I would say 30, 40 years ago, or even 20 years ago, people deny the fact any aliens ever existed with humans. They would never know. They wouldn't work side by side. No, they're bad people. Well, because the mainstream media or the government, the people where men in black, whatever, would tell you, oh no, they're bad people. You don't want to be mixed with them. There's an international law. You cannot associate with an alien. And if you ever talk to an alien, you got to turn that alien in. If you communicate with an alien, that you can be arrested and taken to jail. Why? Because they want you to think that you would be a traitor to your country because you speak into an alien. And I'm not talking about illegal aliens, guys, that cross the border. There's a different kind of alien, right? So that's why I have this guy here in my studio. This is Alien. And but there are people out there that may not realize that those anytime you use these kind of healing stones, they're, you can wear, like I tell people, you can wear a fire agate, and that's for protection of if you're dealing with psychic attacks. The lapis lazuli, or some people call it lazuli, but lapis it actually has gold in it. Like, it has a gold, like real gold, and that's also, again, gold actually is a solar energy connected to it. So anytime you want to do any kind of work and healing work, it's all under the sun. It's not under the moon. So anybody who wears silver, it's lunar. Anybody who wears gold, it's solar. So, it's still connected to us all. Everyone has a connection to certain alloys, but they're all, even your metals, your gold and or silver, are all from the earth. It's all part of the metals. It's all part of the stone. Everything is related to the earth. Nothing is fake. People say, oh, this is fake, that's fake. No, it's not. They're all connected. Sometimes even some of your plastics are chemicals, but they're all made of petroleum. Where's petroleum made of? Earth. They just basically form it. So it depends.
That's their chemical.
Yeah. So you can, but you're mixing all kinds of different kind of product besides just being fuel. You're mixing different kinds of alloys that are chemicals to make plastics. But sometimes some of these plastics that they're making today are not as nice a plastic as you compare to, say, in 1950s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, because they're very careful of because they want to make the best plastic that would last for years. The plastics they make today, they don't care if it lasts for years. They just make a cheap plastic where it falls apart in a matter of minutes. So, again, they take a certain chemical out of it. That's part of chemistry that doesn't give it enough density. So again, that's what we're trying to do, is take back what we have always been driving that was supposed to last us for years, and to work with that.
Well, it definitely was a very interesting day. And here they're saying they're saying on the news that the next eclipse is 2044, 2045. But up here, it's literally 2077.
Yeah,
we won't see another up here, and it's like it's kind of a weird feeling to think that I won't. There's a very good chance I won't be around to see the next one.
Oh, you'll be here.
So there's a
wait till the med beds come out. Wait till the med beds come out, and then you'll be actually here another 50 more years.
But it's just the interesting thing of mortality too. It brings you that most. You think about it a lot. The people I was watching it with today, there's a very good chance none of us would be here. Even my nephews. They'd be in their late 70s, early 80s.
Well, see, here's the problem. What people are doing, they're limiting their value of who they think they can live till 8. Like say, oh, I'll probably pass no more than 80, because you're believing it. But originally, if you look at the history of man, we used to live for 300 years on the average, 300 years. But originally, 1,000 years ago, we lived to 1,000 years. We had a full life, and sometimes even before that, we were living. We had no lifespan, like no short lifespan. We lived a long lifespan. There was no such thing as, oh, how long you're going to live till. You lived, and time just passed, and you never aged hardly at all. So this all did exist, but mankind, people that were rich, decided to shorten mankind's lifestyle because they wanted to control the masses, and we allowed it to happen. So they deceived us. We fell for it. Now eyes are opening up. People want to take back their lives. Again, Hollywood taught us to shorten our lifestyle. Hollywood taught us to consume things that are not good for us, but they're making us believe that if we drink this certain elixir that they make, which is not good, by the way, that you'll live longer. All it is you're destroying a life to make your life live longer, and you don't do that. So there are other means of living a full lifespan and more, because there is light in those med beds, and those are pure. Because basically the extra, I mean, I was on that light bed or similar light bed myself, and many years ago, I was on that bed because I wouldn't have been here right now. But they fixed I was sick, and they fixed me, so I'm still here. I shouldn't have been here right now, but they make sure that I was okay because I was working with them. But they showed me many great things that was going to happen in the future. And in fact, even Danny and Brinkley, back in 1984, Danny even predicted these light beds back in 84 in his book. I think it's Saved by the Light, the book itself, called Saved by the Light. Look it up, folks. Look up Danny and Brinkley's book called Saved by the Light, and you'll see in there. And he shows the prediction he had these the spirit showed him these light beds are going to be the main things. You're going to be cured. Okay. And I will use that word once, but it's going to fix you. You're not going to not having to worry about medical doctors all the time. I mean, medical doctors will be involved, but to help you get better. But there's different means of new alternatives now that's going to be coming out. So everything that's solar, I could tell people, sure, you have your solar eclipse, but you also do have your solar panels. Okay, the sun, you use it depending on the sunlight, lights up your solar panels. Just the other day, someone actually sent me a video of a whole bunch of solar panels that got fried. And they go like, what happened there? Well, I figured it out after, probably because they were so old, or that the wires got crossed and something didn't work right, or there could have been a spark somewhere from a fire and it burnt a panel, and the next thing you know, they're on fire. We don't know, but they're trying to make it look as if the panels are no good, or that they're useless. Well, maybe they might not be any use anymore. Maybe we may not need solar panels. Maybe down the road we'll be going back to free energy again, which would be using the cathedrals all over the buildings, like all over the world, like we used to once before. It's all going to come. All this is going to happen. We just have to be ready for it, be prepared for it. And Nicole even says in this chat room, she goes, healing with frequencies, light and sound therapies. She's right. Because we are that and some.
I mean, we are basically a large electromagnetic field. So,
yeah,
I was, when I was active within paranormal research, that was one of the ongoing hypotheses I was kind of trying to figure out is, would spontaneous human combustion and things like that, or hair being pulled or being scratched, I really think it's not a physical thing. It's more of an energy thing. Yeah. I mean, and they probably, I could see a spirit manipulating a person's electromagnetic field to cause. That's why the burning sensation. They're causing something to happen. They're causing the muscles to tension, or in some cases, either by accident or by intention, depending on what interferes with your electromagnetic field. It causes you to burst into flames. It causes your body to go I don't know what you want to call it. I guess short circuit would be the loose term, probably.
Well, that's from the movie.
Yeah. You know, but it's just, you know, it's a plausible connection I can think of when they talk to, or when they talk about spontaneous human combustion. And we've talked to, I can't remember his name, but we've talked to somebody on Earth about spontaneous human combustion. He told me, you know, he actually did tell me that I could be onto something. You know, it's definitely
well.
something.
Dan Aykroyd did like he's doing a TV series right now, and they were talking about certain things that are mysterious that happen that people just. He talked about, like, where this one lady, well, this is way back in the 30s or 40s, spontaneous combustion, where she just basically blew up in her house, and all there was left was her two legs and one arm in the chair, and the rest of the body was like as if her body got burned, like it just turned to dust, and yet there was no blood anywhere. It was like gone, and I'm thinking, like, like, how did that happen? You know. So, and they're calling it spontaneous combustion, but I think there's more to it. I think there's something there that I feel that was a little more, you know, DEMON, that somehow found a way to take an innocent woman out, and could have possibly walked in that place and, like, boom, we're going to take you out now, boom. You know, I'm not saying be fearful of it, but we don't know. We have no idea. We have no idea whatsoever, but we'll eventually, some of that will come to the surface. We'll know the truth, but we're still investigating so many things that are mysterious to this day. Like, even solar eclipses are still mysterious. We're trying to, you know, people will make up stories and try to get you to be fearful of it, or to be happy to look forward to it.
You know, or maybe we're never meant to know, just because of being having mortality, and you live on one plane. I've always thought of existence. We may never be able to comprehend and explain what is going on, because we just can't compute the answers. But I really do have this feeling, once, you know, when your time does come and you pass on, you know, and you go to wherever we go, whether it's heaven or wherever, however you want to, you know, however each person looks at it. I got a feeling we're going to get there. We're going to look and we're going to go, that was it.
Yep.
Seriously.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's necessary we have to suffer through this. I think mankind taught us to suffer. You know, then we were never meant to come to this world to suffer. We were learning how to learn lessons. And so this is where people make that mistake. You know, like, even in the Bibles, they keep on saying that you're going to hell and damnation. The Bible says you're going to go through the, and you're going to, like, who told you that? Like, Jesus never spoke of that he's going to wipe you out because he didn't like you. God didn't say, oh, I'm a jealous God, I hate you, I'm going to take you out. God never said that, because I spoke to spirit, and many times they said, why should we hurt you? You have free will. You know, if you've harmed others, you have to learn your lesson from it. And once you go through it, and once comes your time, you're going to learn your lessons. So, you know, mankind, people needs to understand, those Bibles that are written, they're always rewritten every 10 to 15 years. And they always keep on changing the words, and they're writing it backwards, and they do it in a mirrored version to get you scared. Because if you look at one of the original Bibles that goes way back during the time of the Old English, which was Latin, that was what they did then by following that type of Bible. Then the reason why it went from Alexandria time period, when they translated it from Latin to German, it wasn't to English yet. It went Latin to German, and then Martin Luther, who was a practicing priest, he translated it because he didn't like the philosophy of that the Pope and his people were abusing the citizens of the villages and the towns and the cities. They were abusing them horribly, and taxing them constantly. See, people may not realize this. It's your corporations. Your corporations has gone as far back as the Pope. The Pope is the corporation. Okay, every pope was a corporation. They started to control the masses. It's not the king or the queens. It was up to the pope to tell the kings and the queens to make a tax. It was never the king said, I'm going to make a tax. No, the pope advised them to make a tax. And then monies went to the popes, always went to the head of the pope. And when the pope shows up at the king's kingdom, or queen the kingdom, what does the king do? He bows to the pope. Why? He's not a king. But they gave him that position that he's a high advisor above all kings. Well, who gave him that priority? You see?
Oh, it's basically, it goes into what you said before about Eclipse and different civilizations in the past.
Yeah.
And it's the same type fear.
Yeah.
It's just, it's fear.
Yeah.
You know, it's in the popes, you know, some of them worse than others.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them very bad. I mean, the Medicis were awful.
Yeah.
But there were others who were who were not the nicest. I mean, yeah, they used the knowledge, like you said, and it makes sense even too when you go through the line of the popes. They used the knowledge they had that their followers didn't.
Yeah,
including abilities, and use it against them to gain their advantage, to get what they wanted. And it's a huge psyop information. And you really, you know, you hit it very well when you were talking about with these eclipses, that oracles or some, you know, they had people, magi's, however you want to call them, had the ability to know, you know, what these eclipses were.
These are they were practicing astrology already, and they already knew when that eclipse was going to show up, and that's what they did. They had the kings and queens believing they had great power, and they gave them that position. You know, I'm going to darken the sun when it happens. Like, watch me. Okay, as of now, I'm going to darken the sun. They watch the sundial. Boom. Oh, I'm going to darken the sun. See, I'm powerful. Oh, everybody runs. Right? That's what they did. They knew how to do it.
And it's, when you think about it, because of the way they have some people literally on just completely wrapped around their finger, a small group of society who don't listen to anything but what they give them.
Yeah.
They're doing the same thing. And you're right. It's like, oh, not this eclipse. This eclipse is, like you were saying, this eclipse is bad. It's going to do this. It's going to do that. We have to put out all these state of emergencies. And they totally believe it. You know, they don't go back. They don't go back, look at history. They don't try to figure out what is going on. They don't try to, you know, to figure out the path. Okay, is this the real path or something? I mean, I actually found articles. I was looking up some things for the show, and I was finding articles saying, oh, no, this isn't the real path of the eclipse. It's going to do this or it's going to do that. And they're literally playing the same psyop game. They're just playing a modern one.
See, they also, like, I look up here, Merlin, for example, they call Merlin magician. Merlin was a practicing astrologer. Merlin knew how to control King Arthur, because he just knew then when all these certain times of days of whether the weather's going to change, when the sun's going to cross over, or the moon's going to cross over the sun. He knew. Okay. Mm-hmm. He knew about the stars. I mean, everybody, no one, like, even the people may not realize this. The people who are sheep herders studied the stars. Okay. Sheep herders knew when certain things were going to happen long before. Why do you think Moses was a sheep herder? Moses knew of so many things that he learned from the stars. By learning from the people that he lived with and the woman he married, she taught him how to read the stars.
I always thought too, like, when you get to the Renaissance and Galileo, and, you know, they say, well, he was trying to show that, you know, that it wasn't, everything didn't revolve around the earth. Everything revolved around the sun, and we revolved around the sun. Mm-hmm. And I look at it much broader than that. It was just like what you said. He was bringing science to the masses.
Yes.
Bringing the explanation. The explanations were starting to become much more available. And that's what different factions, different groups, if you want to call them the Illuminati, that's what they didn't like. That's what the nobility didn't like. That's what the Catholic Church didn't like. You still can't. You literally still today cannot go to the Vatican archives and look at Galileo's the journals.
You probably could now. You probably could now, because the original people that were protecting it now will let you, because this is all changed. It's all changing now. We could. Before we couldn't, but they're
I don't know. I honestly don't know. You bring up a good point. I have to go back and I have to look.
Let's put it this way: how did our commander in chief was able to go underground under the Vatican, and bring all the gold back to where it belonged to the people? Okay, miles and miles and miles of gold, and the Pope had all that gold. He was controlling the population across all of the world. He was controlling it, and he knew how to control it because the gold was important to everyone. Anybody who actually was a pirate, when they were actually seeking gold, okay, they weren't seeking gold back in those years. They were seeking pieces of silver. Reason why they were seeking silver, because silver was a higher standard of value than gold. Gold became valuable later on. When you see a pirate take a doubloon and they'll bite it into it, and if they bend it, that means there's copper in it. That means it was fake gold or fake silver, because they would take copper, melt it down, shape it like a coin. They would take silver, like a silver coating, and just a coating on top of the coin. That's why if they bend it, that means it's not real. They knew how to tell what fake money was, but if it didn't bend, oh, this is real. So it went way back into the pirate time periods, 11th century, 12th century, 13th century, 14th, way like that far back. So society has learned now to learn to understand, or understand, has to learn that we have been duped by many generational leaders, and every one of them. And the first person I'm going to hit up on is the Pope.
Yeah, I agree with you. And then you get into the other families, like the Rothschilds.
They came later. They came later. They were like, they're coming in like they negotiated as a family, so to speak. So oh yeah, they go way back hundreds of years. This is generational.
I've actually heard 1,000. The Rothschilds may go back 1,000 years.
Oh, definitely. Actually, in fact, the Rothschilds believe that they're actually part of the large-headed people, like the aliens are part. They believe they're half aliens, like with big heads. So maybe it is. Maybe also there could have been a deformity to make them look like that.
Maybe,
because you see a lot of African women would take the child, that there's some African tribes will take some of their children and shape their skulls to look like the large-headed aliens.
Yeah, well, I got to get going here because I have to work on the show a little bit more, and I got to do a few things. But I really do hope everybody just took this for what it really is, and it's just a great celestial event that just does not happen.
Absolutely.
All the time. And we're very lucky. We're very lucky that in the United States we had two in just a matter of 9 years. And we won't see one for a long time now.
But let's look up that town. Like, if you get a chance, look up that town and look up the history of it and find out why. But go deeper, find out why it was so important to for that X to be the center, and why were they focusing on the center of that specific location.
What was the name of the town again?
Not Wakanda. I think it's Makanda. Makanda? I think Makanda. Let's see history. They called it Makanda. 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 Like Wakanda, except the W. I think they could have taken that name from that town. I bet you they used that word from that town. Instead of using the M, they use the W. You watch. That's Hollywood.
They're interesting. Or I'm looking just at the name. I mean, we have a lot of, especially in the East Coast, we have a lot of Native American wording that is for towns, people, and rivers and everything. That's interesting. That's either, like you said, it's kind of like a combination.
Yeah.
It's a combination to me of like Native American and something else.
Well, it's African American. There's Egyptian, as well as a Native American. There's three, and it could be spoken in three different dialects. You see, like Makanda, or Makanda. We don't know. I mean, that's the phonetics how you use it.
I don't know. I'll just have to see what's in the history, if there's any history within that town.
Yep. Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, man. I have got to get going. I got to record a few things.
Okay.
And,
wonderful. Well, thank you for coming on, just to even share some of your stories regarding the energy coming from the solar eclipse.
Oh, the energy was something I've never felt.
It's a life experience in itself.
Yeah, and it's I don't know where we're going now, but there's definitely.
Well, you think about it real quickly. Think about this. They made a big scare back in 2000. Oh, the computers are going to shut down in 2000. Yeah. Guess what? Didn't happen.
But I have this feeling that with the shift that you're talking and we've talked about and I've asked you about, I feel it. Something's different now.
Oh yeah.
And I don't understand what. Maybe I'm not supposed to understand what. I'm just kind of supposed to hang on and go for the ride, which I understand that. But it's good though. It's not bad.
No, and the thing is that our DNA is going to increase. It's going to excel greater. We'll be a lot more connected to spirit with the spirit world. We're going to be highly evolved, more evolved. We're like, the thing is that, like I said, there's dark forces out there trying to scare us and keep us from actually evolving. And yet we do have our commander-in-chief and their people saying, no, we're going to help you evolve and you're going to do quite well. We need you. So, this is all it is, folks. We're making it happen, and it's not even to do with survival. We're living a life. I mean, people say, how's your day? I'm living the day. I'm living the life. I'm enjoying the life. And that's what it really is. Enjoy what you've got and make it happen. If you have a dream that dream, because it's your dream, not my dream. It's yours. You own it.
Yeah, and that's the way I live now. It's got to be very grateful for what you have. But yeah, it's not a bad thing to look for more.
Not at all.
But always be grateful for what you have. And I've lived by that for years now. Just, if it's there, it'll be there. Just and recognize it, go for it. But at the same time, don't sit here and go, oh God, I wish I could have that, because no. Just be happy with what you have. Be grateful for what you have. Thank whoever your listeners thank for what you have. Yeah. But it's not a bad thing to look to get to improve yourself.
I'm gonna share something with you. I'm actually in the Q drops. Okay. And it says here, this is interesting. Now we're looking at, okay, they talked about this. This is what's happening right now. Let's look at the word solar eclipse just real quickly here. Solar eclipse. Okay. And that was for 4/8/2024. Okay, 4/8/2024. Here we go. Oops. Solar. SOL. Yeah, it is right. Okay. The Q drops. Keking. K-E-K. Keking. Okay. Keking. Out right now. Pretty sure I found something. Rip me apart if I'm wrong, though. So many shills on here. You're missing crumbs. Look here, not there. Ooh. Responding to post 2996, Q says, how is that possible for a supposed non-gov entity? How is it possible that FB, Facebook, tracks data even when the app is deleted? And so they're also saying Q is calling out hashtag Snowden. I bet you guys, this solar eclipse is all to do with Snowden. So, because this is all the distraction. So I used the filter to find posts relating to WikiLeaks. Q's post from July 31st, 2018 is a screenshot of the WikiLeaks Vault 7, released March 7. Sounds confusing? Just trying to show you my thought process. Stay with me, it makes sense. Unlike bullets, bombs, or missiles, most CIA malware is designed to live for days or even years after it has reached its target. CIA malware does not explode on impact, but rather permanently infests its target. So what they're doing is trying to scare you with the solar eclipse. Okay. So Q is saying that they are using the angel fire to predict the deep state's moves without being detected. And in the user files, it says a key must be used to open magic wand keystone. In Q post, he says that add ADM r/NSA WNW, okay, POTUS /US mil, that's US military, apply the keystone. So paint the picture. In most 167Q says POTUS open the door of all doors, expand your thinking. What is the keystone? Now this could be confirmation bias, but based on what we just read, we can now infer that Q was saying Trump gave Admiral Rogers permission to use Keystone and activate malware in order to collect data on the DS, the bad people. Furthermore, who uses a magic wand, a wizard? WNW. Q. Now that's the solar energy. That's solar eclipse.
There was something very happened today, and I just remembered it. I was reading something on, and we over on Earth, Chad and I believe that as we call him 45 has providence. We believe there's something protecting him.
Yeah.
Or else, my God, look at all the stuff around him right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, today there was a report that came out in the news that the Democratic National Convention, where they nominate their nominee, is in late August here. They must have not looked at the state laws very carefully, because it turns out in Ohio, the deadline to ratify the nominee, meaning to certify that this is your nominee for the state, is in early August. I think it's like August 3rd or 7th. So as of right now, the residency there, as I call him, the residency of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, can't be put on Ohio's ballot.
No.
It's actually, they have to do one of two things. They have to the legislature has to either change their law there, which may not happen because it's full of the other side. It's full of quote unquote Republicans.
Yeah.
Or he can't be put on the ballot because it would be against their constitutional law.
Yeah.
Which is and it's these little things where you see the eclipse. You see the eclipse and you go, okay, what's going on now? What are the feelings right now? And then all of a sudden this comes up.
Well, I feel in that this eclipse actually something that this remain to me. It means they're hiding something. Okay.
Oh,
they're hiding. What's the sun represents true pure energy, pure life, right? And the moon goes across the sun. They're hiding something, but it's not always a negative thing. They're hiding it, but the truth is coming out from no matter which way, which angle is going to be brighter than ever. Okay.
I always said that.
And you remember also too, your Congress, U.S. Congress, actually passed a bill that they're banning. Okay, they passed a bill banning TikTok.
It's gone through one branch right now.
Yeah, one branch to go. Yeah, but why they want to ban TikTok? There are some really good people out there not talking politics. This is how they make maybe they earn their living off of TikTok, and they're saying no, we need to ban TikTok. Why? Because you're earning a living off of it. Has nothing to do with politics. And the number and the clock in my room just said 222. That means we've been on for 2 hours and 22 minutes.
Yeah, I think TikTok. I don't use TikTok. I don't like a lot of the stuff on it. But I think at the same time, it's a platform that I think, like you said, there's some free information. There's free flow of information. I think more there than some of the other ones.
All the time.
Yeah,
but remember, if you remember, they used before that. They used before it became X. They used that for a while. Then they banned that one. So then they went to TikTok. No, Snap It, and then they got rid of that one. Now they went to TikTok. They're just trying to prevent people from using any pages to get the truth out. Or, I mean, basically, they're trying to ruin people's lives and say you can't have this and can't have that unless I say so. And we have the same thing in our own province here in Canada, where our government's trying to tell us that we can't say certain words, and if we say certain words that what we like or dislike, then if the government doesn't agree with it, they can just arrest us and take us to jail.
Yeah,
that's all dictatorship, and your Congress is actually passing dictatorship.
And reading the bill, I mean, it was something that we did talk about on Earth. And when I read the bill, the way it is, these people, like a lot of people say, oh, these people are stupid. They're not. They're very smart and tactile, whoever's reading these bills, because you read the bill and like you said, I know you said it on your show before, because I heard you say it.
Yeah.
They make it sound like, oh, we're protecting the kids. But if you read deeper in it, you find out what the true intent is.
Exactly.
And there are some very broad general statements in there that, like you said, you could say one word.
Mm-hmm.
You could say just one word, and all of a sudden you're spending life in prison.
Mm-hmm. So they say.
Yeah.
But see, like I tell people, all those people that are trying to pass those bills are not real people. They are phonies. They're fakes, just like your JB. Okay. They're just to be there to show you something, to wake you up. And so there's people out there, even to this day, right now, today, are on the highway, on the roads, on the side of the roads, and they're trying to they're trying to do axe the tax. They're trying to stop all this crap from happening. And same in the States, other things that are happening out there, they're basically trying to stand up for the rights of the people. And the public is slow to catch up. And even though, like Diane's in the chat room, she says it's called a distraction. Yes, it is a distraction, because they want you to not pay attention to what's going on outside, to pay attention to see what really is going on in their government. They're trying to say, here, watch this movie. This will keep you busy. Oh, look at these wonderful little kitties and puppies to look at. Watch this. That's not what it's about.
The new distraction here, and I don't know if it started up there yet, is Iran. It's that Iran is going, oh, watch out for the attack for Iran. Oh, or Iran's going to attack within the next week. Oh, Iran's going to. Yeah. A couple of days ago, they were saying they were going to attack within 48 hours.
Yeah.
And, so I don't know if that's started up there yet, but it's definitely, it seems like it's now that the eclipse is over, and of course, nobody fell for it. Now it seems like it's Iran.
No.
It's this attack for a missile attack, or I forget what it was. I think it's an Israeli missile attack. Now they're saying, they're saying they're going to get Israel, and they're saying, they're going to get the United States.
Yeah.
So that's the next one that's coming down here. I don't know if it's going to make it up there or not, but watch your news feeds, whatever you watch, because I'd almost guarantee you.
I tell you this right now: Iran and Iraq are not going to go to war with us or with any country, because I've got so many friends that are from Iran and from Iraq, and they're going like, "What? Nobody's going to war here. We're too busy here with our companies and our businesses in the street, and we have restaurants, and people are happy. Who says they're going to go to war?"
Iran really doesn't have the ability to try to do something like that. And the people don't want it.
No, the public doesn't want that. I mean, they want peace. Everybody wants peace. But even like Trump even said, he can stop a war in 24 hours. No one else ever has.
Oh, he would, none of this would be happening.
Nope.
And I totally agree with that. None of this would be happening if he was. And even, they've had interviews with people who are crossing the southern border, and they've asked them, these reporters have asked them straight out, if Trump was in office, would you be doing this? And they went, oh God, no. That's literally what they said. Oh God, no.
Our last Prime Minister Harper, Harper, he himself wanted to go to war. He changed that. Like, we were called our Canadian soldiers they were called Canadian peacekeepers. We're called peacekeepers. They weren't called military. They were called Canadian peacekeepers because they were never allowed to shoot first. They were allowed to defend, but never to shoot first. And you also had to count your bullets, right? That's how. And it wasn't because Canada was cheap. It's because they were never meant to go to war to fight, because they've already dealt with the First World War and Second World War, and that's why they created a Canadian peacekeeper military. But when Harper came in government, he wanted to change the name from peacekeepers to the Canadian military. Why? Because he wanted to go to war to make money, just like Hillary and all the Bushes and Obamas. Okay.
Yeah.
He wanted to do the same thing, because I remember when he said on the radio, when I was there, I listened in, and he was so proud that he changed the name. He says, now we can go to war. I said, excuse me? Who in the hell do you think we can go to war? Go to war with who?
Down here, we call it the military industrial complex. Been around since you can go beyond Kennedy. That's one of the reasons probably Kennedy was murdered. And more than likely, where Canada would be getting their munitions and their armament, and a lot of their armaments would be from these United States companies, which means really Canada would be paying us. So really the United States would be the ones making the money.
Yeah.
And, and Canada would be, I'm sure there would be a kickback, and then what happens is your country would kind of be under the thumb of this country. And that's not good either.
No.
Now it means in a sense, you're serving two masters. You're serving a corrupt crown, and now you're serving a master to the south. If you have someone very corrupt within that, within 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, which we know there's a shadow government here anyway.
Yeah.
So that's not good either.
That's why I call my show Shadow Chasing.
Yep. No, it makes sense, because there is everybody down here knows. I mean, if you are Canadian listening to the show right now, don't listen to the media up there, because trust me, there are many more in the U.S. who know that don't know. I mean, we are, as I say, a lot of us are the living legacy of 1776. I'm literally a bicentennial baby.
You're bi?
And
you do things two ways?
No. And I have the sick head, folks. No, I mean, I was born 1776. I was literally born 1 month from the signing.
You were born in 1776. Oh my God, you're an old man.
I'm an old man, dude. But I mean, what kills us and kills a lot of people now here is that we have this beautiful thing.
Yeah.
That nobody else has, in the way that it was formed, called the United States Constitution.
Yeah, definitely.
And I've heard you say it before too. It's like the biggest difference between Canada and the United States, it's the Second Amendment.
Mm-hmm.
Except it's something, and I'm not saying I ever want to see us do I don't want to see any violence. It's the last thing I want to see, but we don't protect and use our rights down here, and we have them.
Yeah.
And we're letting people take them away, and people in other countries are going, what are you doing?
So Diane says 2009, the British Embassy moved to Washington.
From where?
That's what she said. I think she's American herself. She says in 2009, the British Embassy moved to Washington.
I think there's, well, it's probably, I don't know which one it is.
She said, let's see, where is she? She said same ailments as 1789, the French Revolution in history as well.
Yeah, 1789, okay. the French Revolution is,
yeah, she's talking about Ottawa. We call it, actually, the original way of saying that it's supposed to be Ottawa. But
Oh,
everybody's
you're
calling.
British. She means your British embassy moved to Washington?
Yep.
Why would it do that?
Because we're no longer Canadian government.
Yeah. Okay, I get it.
Don't forget we merged, right? We're no longer a real country. We're actually we've merged into one. United States, Canada, and Mexico, Australia, New Zealand. That's been signed. So
Well, that goes back to
our original now the
corporation.
embassy is moved to Washington D.C.
And that goes back to the corporation.
Yep.
Corporation Act.
Yep, and we're no longer a corporation now.
Yeah, that's interesting because there's a lot's going to come out, and I think that's the thing is
it's going to blow they're going to blow their rockers right off the end of the cliff. I'm telling you, I can hardly wait for me to tell the story. I can only say so much, like they say, well, you got to wait, and not times two, they're not going to tell you everything because, that's how they have to build it all up, but they'll tell you a little bit. They give, like we're given crumbs, and they'll say, Derek, you can say this, or so-and-so, you'd say that. So we do, they give us the crumbs and we go ahead and tell the story, So, and I love getting the major crumbs from Gene Decode, or Derek Johnson, those two. And you guys may not know this, but did you know that General Flynn, okay, Derek Johnson and General Flynn, that's older brother, little brother. Did you know that?
Mm-mm.
They're related. Flynn is actually Derek's older brother.
Yeah, there's good things coming.
It's all like I said, little crumbs are coming out, folks. Like go like, wow.
Yeah, and I told people down here.
Holy crap!
Some people have asked me. We got to go through the ugly before we get to the good. And
yeah.
You know what? We're a strong. I tell them we're a strong people down here. You guys are a strong people up there. You guys have gone through hell with your
but smell's not that bad.
And but but we got to go through the bad to get to the good. And I know the good is, especially for this country. I know the good is coming.
We're like they said, we're almost done. It's almost finished. We're almost we're in the month of April now. So we're looking at, we're not too far off until November. So once we get to November, this is November, the 5th of November, boom. That's when everything starts to go boom. And I'm not saying bad. I'm saying like capital B, QQ, capital M.
I don't even know when our election is this year. When is our election this year? Oh my God.
Remember the 5th of November.
Oh,
that's what Trump said. Trump's actually said the 5th of November.
Well, I just looked at this and I didn't even realize that our election, our U.S. election is on the 5th of November.
Yes, it is.
Ooh.
Yes. Yep.
Ooh, that's
like I said, this is where the bell rings and everyone shows up and they all fight for every liberty you can think of, and everyone shows up wearing the same costume as Guy Fawkes.
That just put a chill up.
It's going to screw the government so bad.
That just put a chill up my spine.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was on the 7th.
Nope. 5.
For some reason, the 7th.
November the 5th. Trump brought it up. He says, remember the 5th of November. Don't forget the date. He said, that's when the election is going to be, the 5th of November. Boom. And I went, capital B, QQ, M.
And that gets me with the deep state too, because that means,
and that's a Q plus.
Yeah. They're going to be, who knows what they're going to be doing.
Yep.
Oh man. All right.
And even Nicole says, I remember Kim Clement also saying the summer will take it so that the fall FALL can do its work.
Oh, it's coming.
Right.
We
and she's right.
Everybody.
Oh, by the way, you guys may not realize, people think that Kim Clement actually is gone. He's not. He's in protection.
No, it is
he's in protection.
Yeah. We know down here we feel down here there is an end game coming, and it's coming in November.
Yeah.
And we know that. And then you're gonna have this point between November and January where with the inauguration that it's there's going to be, and I don't know what it'll end up being. It'll probably look like a really nasty conglomerate of just riots and everything in words and trying to do everything to try to sabotage. And it's just, it's going to get ugly, but it's going to be good.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think we had one heck of a good solar eclipse show tonight. And having to have you come on, it was wonderful. You know what? Next time I get you to come on, we'll turn on the camera and then they can see your lovely little face, and I'll put you on the screen.
They can see me every Saturday night.
Yeah, well, yeah. Tell everybody out there when you're on, when you guys are on.
Well, this week we had to preempt because our webmaster had some family commitments he had to take care of, and we will be on again live this week. We put a recorded podcast up, so live this week, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Pacific. EarthRadioNetwork.com usually, but right now our website is acting up. We got a feeling the NSA didn't like what we said in the last episode, so they're probably trying to mess with us.
Where can they find all your recordings?
Rumble.com/Earth Radio Network.
Earth Radio Network. Earth. Okay. So go into Rumble and then hit the word Earth Radio, right?
Yeah, one word, /rumble.com/Earth Radio Network.
And Radio Network. Earth Radio Network. Just think the word Earth standing on Earth Radio Network. Yeah.
We have 2 to 3 years of archives there, I believe.
And sometimes if I'm not doing anything, I go in there and I torment them in the chat room.
Yeah, you do. You like joking with. The funny part is right now Chad can't see that chat room. I'm the only one that does.
Oh, does he? Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah. So
so he actually sees all my jokes, and then whether he says it or whether you don't, but I'll throw a joke in there, but you eventually do tell them the joke, and then they catch the guys off guard.
Yeah, it's just a matter of trying to, the timing. It's all timing.
It's all timing
when you're trying to do things. But there is a great interview there I did a couple of weeks, probably about a month ago now, with Dr. Brian Artis.
Oh, that's a cool guy. Really cool. That's a good one.
Yeah. So I mean, if you guys are interested in what Dr. Artis had to say, we went everywhere, absolutely everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're using Ozempic, I would stop because you may be interested in where Ozempic is derived from, or if you use the Wegovy product too. You may have a little four-legged creature. It's a little four-legged creature that is the derivative of that thing. But yeah, go to the archive. We talk about it, and we talk about a bunch of things. It was a great interview, and we'll be on live this Saturday night. That's our plan.
Good. Saturday night. If you got nothing to do, guys, or even while you're traveling, just hit up on that Rumble page. I'm on Rumble as well. You'll find every recording I've got that I've saved. There's on Rumble as well. So after this show is over, you'll see it in there. If you want to play catch up to it, if you haven't seen the whole thing from the very beginning, that's where I'll be. And I'll be transferring the recorded files into Rumble as well as Facebook, but mostly into Rumble. And then I drop it into also Telegram. So everyone gets to see it. Right now, as we speak, we got 134,175 followers. 134,175 followers on Telegram. That many people are on there right now doing messages. 134,178, just like that. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, we have a Telegram account too. I was working on one page, the Facebook page, just because I'm actually trying to get Facebook to actually try to kick me off. They haven't done it yet.
Well, you know why? Because we've had a lot of fact checkers come in there, and now if you keep on, if you go into your block page every day and throw out the word fact checkers, fact checks, whatever they want to fact you about, you just dump them out and then block them all, and then they don't bother you. You know, then they can't find you. And then I went after the company that actually were fact checkers was hired by, and then I put their name in it, and I blocked them too. So now they can't track me.
Yeah. So I mean, well, we do have a Telegram page too, and that's probably going to be the next one I'm going to be building.
Yeah.
And yeah, just come over if you guys are listening. Come on over. If you're listening at the archive, come on over. Say hi to me. Let me know.
A lot of great guys out there. A lot of good guys out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because I have a problem with a few pops over there too. So you know, it's kind of
we always have them.
Yeah. I'm trying to weed who's who. But yeah, if you just say, hey, I heard you on Derek's show, and tell me who you are, I'll go and I'll bring you into the page. So you know, you can be up to date on what we do.
Got it. No problem. Okay, my friend.
All right,
you have a good one, and we'll talk to you next time.
All right. Thanks for having me on, man. It was great.
Yeah. Take care. Talk to you then. Okay, guys. Thank you for being part of this show. Like I said, tonight was actually all to do with solar eclipse. I did share a lot of solar eclipses, whether it was actually all to do with, we did pictures and videos. I wanted to share all those with you from all over the world. It was wonderful to do that. It was actually really had a lot of fun. I'm glad you guys actually enjoyed watching those videos. Some of the people actually were unable to see them, because Facebook doesn't always share everything. And so I found all these videos from all the people that sent me say, Derek, I was in Mexico. Derek was in some part of the States. Derek was over here. You want to share this? Sure. I want to thank all the people that allowed me to share all their pictures and their videos on this show. And big hands up, and thank you guys for allowing me to share these with you, for you, to the rest of the world. And also I hope you guys had a great time with having to watch the solar eclipse. If you didn't do it, then you can always refer back to seeing what we did have. Like I said before, you want to see the recording of it, refer back to it again. You can always go to my Rumble page, and that's where I would save all my recordings, put it in there. Also, I have a Telegram page called the True North Strong and Free. I have a True North Strong and Free as well in Facebook, so you can find me everywhere, anywhere, and as well, please like and share as much as you possibly can, and get other friends of yours if they want to say, hey, look, if they want to say, Derek, or they want to say, how do you know all about the stuff that Derek's talked about? Here, watch the show. And then have them ask me to be a friend on whether it's Facebook or whatever have you, and say, look, come and join me, and I'll show you what this show is all about. We like to talk about all varieties of things that are happening across the world. It's important that everybody needs to know what really is going on. And that's what I've been doing. I mean, I do a lot of spiritual things, but also I like to share with the rest of the world what's going on. And I really do enjoy doing this. That's why I do Facebook as well as YouTube at the same time. And I apparently someone said to me, Derek, you can actually do the same thing with Rumble. You can go live on there too. But you know what? I just drop it in there. I don't mind. But I want to thank everybody for being in the chat rooms too, guys. So in the meantime, I'll talk to you guys soon. But this Thursday, I'm normally on, but I'll be on really late. I'll be on after 9 o'clock, after I have a board meeting up until 9 o'clock. But once I'm done, then we'll come back on and we'll talk about other great things. I'm sure it will be coming up. So be good to each other, guys. Talk to you guys next time. We'll see you. Live and love well. Be at peace.
Everyone lives, everyone dies. Everyone loves, everyone cries. Round the world we're all alike. So why is there war? Why do we fight? There's one sea, one sky, one earth. So you and I gotta learn to live together. When one hurts, when one needs, we all gotta learn to live together. Peace, make peace, make peace, peace, all around. stop crying. Stop the fighting and the hate. We gotta make peace before it's too late. There's one sea, one sky, one earth. So you and I gotta learn to live together. With one earth, with one need, we all we gotta learn to live together. Peace, in peace, peace, alright. Peace, peace, together. Peace.